Sir, welcome to Indo-Asian News Services, and thanks for giving us an opportunity for this one. Sir, first question, post-budget, Union Budget 2022. What's the figures of direct taxes?
The collection numbers,
Collection numbers and the pays.
Yeah, collection numbers are as of today it is 10.43 lakh crores against a B number of 11.08 lakh crores and the RE numbers are 12.50 lakh crores. We are confident of achieving the RE numbers also.
Okay. And what's the numbers in the pays, income tax pays?
Income tax pays 6.11 crores of income tax returns have been received. We are expecting another 70 to 80 lakh returns. So we should be reaching nearly 6.7 to 6.8 crores of income tax returns, which is comparable to the last year also.
So, sir, is there any decrease in the numbers of income tax pays because of the pandemic or something?
I do not foresee any decrease when the final numbers come out. Maybe contrarily, there will be some increase in some numbers also in the income tax pays.
So, what's your target in coming years? Because the government is, very much interested to widen the base, the tax base.
Correct. As far as collection numbers are concerned, we are in a much happier place right now. Against total collections of 9.24 lakh crores last year, we have already achieved 10.43 lakh crores as of now, and we will be reaching more than 12.5 lakh crores, which is the target for this year. Next year's target is 14.20 lakh crores, and next to next year is 15.83 lakh crores, right? So it is a very firm foundation on which the next 2 years budget will be built around. About the number of taxpayers and increasing the tax base, let me tell you that the profile of the income tax assessees, as far as the department is concerned, 92% of the taxpayers who file the returns, they are in the lowest of the quadrant, from 0 to 10 lakh of income, returned income, and from 10 lakhs to 50 lakhs, not more than 7% are there, not more than 50 lakh in numbers. Beyond 50 lakhs to 5 crores, the number is just 0.7%, just about 4.5 lakhs. And beyond 5 crores, there are only 31,000 taxpayers who have returned income of more than 5 crores. And out of the 31,000, 17,000 or close to 18,000 are companies. Individuals, firms, LLPs, they are only some 12,000 or so. So this is a very peculiar taxpayer structure in India, in which the top taxpayers are fewer in number, and we got a large base which yields, I would not say insufficient number of the quantum of revenue, but our goal is to get more people into the higher tax brackets, right, between 10 to 50 lakhs and 50 lakhs to 5 crores. There is some very encouraging upward movement of people moving from one quadrant to another, right? We want that momentum to be picking up, and so that not only the taxpayers, more taxpayers come in, but more taxpayers also come in who pay more taxes. So that will add to our gross tax revenue from year to year.
Sir, any strategy for this to include more taxpayers in the higher bracket?
Yes, so that's the reason as to why we have tried to engineer a e-verification scheme under section 135 capital A, which would allow us investigate and inquire into the quality data which we are having through a structured setup of the DG, I and CI across India. We want that verification to be intense and to be very involved, so that people who have money to invest or money to expend, they also pay commensurate taxes. So e-verification scheme to us will give us a good idea as to the depth of the taxpayers who are not filing the correct amount of taxes in the returns, or to persuade and goad people who have not filed their returns to file their returns.
So how you get this kind of data? You have no doubt you have government agencies from where you get the data, but a lot of data can be procured from the private companies and hence which can give you quite a good amount of numbers of persons who can be in the tax net or in a higher bracket. So any plan for this?
See, the not the only thing, but one of the more important things which we bank on for data mining is the SFT, the specified financial transactions which we get, and we do not specify the agencies from whom we will get the data, but we specify the sectors. Like in TDS we have deductions from salary, from government sources, government employees, from non-government employees, and different types of TDS payments, right, on interest, on your expenditure, purchase of motor car, purchase of goods, right, on income from consultancy, right, income from any foreign remittance under section 195. Yes. So these different sectors of expenditure and investment, it gives us an idea as to who is doing what, and what are the financial wherewithal where from these kind of investments and expenditures are being incurred. So from those data, the SFT data from banks, from financial institutions, from the stock exchanges, we get lot of data which we mine and work on, leverage, and we take those inquiries through a structured setup to the logical conclusion of getting the right amount of taxes from those remittances or those expenses.
Sir, I still remember interviewing the late former finance minister Arun Jaitley ji, and just post demonetization and inception of GST, and that time he revealed that it was the direct tax base number was 6.85, and it's a year, sir, years have gone, so we still under the 7 crores.
Yeah, see, the point is the numbers will increase. Numbers will increase only when a two-pronged strategy is carried out with all earnestness and intensity. One is the data management and the data processing capability of the department, and also the awareness among the tax-paying public, the requirement of filing a return and the consequences of not filing a return, right. Both the strategies we are trying to work out. This year you would have realized that we allowed that updated return to be filed, right. Yes. Alongside triggering the 135A e-verification scheme, we also allowed the taxpayer, one who would be required to be investigated or inquired into through the e-verification scheme, we have given him an opportunity that we are making the inquiries, and at the time the inquiry is on, before a notice is being issued for reassessment in your case, would it be right for you to be filing a return of income? So it's a two-pronged strategy. One is increasing the awareness among the potential taxpayers that they should be filing a return of income and pay the right amount of taxes, and at the same time ensuring that if the right income or the return of income is not filed, go and make the reassessment, right. So it's a two-pronged strategy. Can't say it's a carrot and stick, but it's a kind of making the assessee, making the taxpayer aware of his responsibilities to pay the right amount of taxes.
Sir, when we data mine that digit which then finance minister gave us, 6.85, approximately 3 crores were the government employees, correct, central and the state. Some 56 or 57 lakhs that time the salaried one who are working in MNCs and corporates, and rest were the others. So you just mentioned this about 6.11, so we just curtail the 3, so we just have non-governmental taxpayers, and it's a 3.11. Out of that, can you please tell us that how many of the service class and how many is non-service class category?
No, on TDS, let me tell you that the government TDS from the government employees,
So,
it will be in the range of 35 to 40,000 crores every year. From the non-government employees, it will be running to 2.5 lakh crores. So TDS from the non-government salary, it's one of the maximum yielding TDS provision in the Income Tax Act. So the top of the tree is the TDS from non-government employees by way of salary. After that, other things come in, from rent, TDS on rent, and then as I told, TDS on consultancy and professional services, then the foreign remittances under section 195. But the top of the tree is always non-government salary. That is a very good revenue yielding provision in the Income Tax Act as of now.
okay, so you already have a good number of government employees. Means most of the government employees are under your net. Non-government employees, salaried. What about the non-salaried persons?
Yeah, for the non-salary person,
How many of them?
no, non-government.
The
See,
numbers.
yeah, numbers I'll just tell you. When it comes to non-government, okay, we have little over 15 lakh of AOPs, LLPs, then firms, right? 15.79 lakhs, and companies will be around 9.4, 9.5, 9.4 lakh of companies, right?
Okay.
And under charities, it will be around 2.24 lakh, right? Under the trusts and institutions,
Yes.
2.24 lakhs. So the people who will be filing returns in the status of in ITR 1, 2, 3, 4, they would be numbering nearly 6.3 crores of people who have either salary or who have salary and one house property or two house property, little capital gains, income from presumptive sources, presumptive income, etc. They number 6.30 crores. So out of the total number of 7 crores approximately, the tax assessees number, 6.3 crores will be that bracket alone, right? The rest will be around 50 lakhs, right? If you total up everything else.
Means these are the non-salaried, non-government.
Yeah. No, it could be government also. In some situations, there could be charities who will be run by the government also. Can't say that there is no non-government charities. That could be, or even in LLPs also that could be. Societies also, there will be government societies who will be filing the returns.
Sir, just a data for a reference. Delhi NCR having 60 lakhs firms registered. These data they procured from the local bodies. What do you think? How many of these are in your tax net?
I cannot give these I cannot either validate what you are saying,
Okay.
and I cannot validate any conclusions therefrom. I don't know what exactly you are hinting at, but what I get the underlying feeling in you is that whether we are capturing the right amount of taxes or the right return of income in respect of business, right? This could be the refrain in your question. Our struggle always has been to look at the total financial profile of a business, right, through different taxing provisions. We look at the rent paid, we look at the consultancy paid, we look at the professional services charges paid, we look at the foreign remittances, we look at his expenditure, etc., and make a quick profile of his financial wherewithal through the TDS provisions and through the SFT route, right? It has been a struggle all throughout the years to capture the right, correct, appropriate data with regard to businesses. Let me be very frank with you, right? This is an ongoing struggle to come to terms with the real state of affairs among the businesses, but with their cooperation and our initiative, I think time will come when we'll be helping each other in getting the right amount of taxes from the businesses also.
Okay, sir. Let me hit the button. During the pandemic, the opposition in the parliament and the opposition in the public against the government always had a point that during the pandemics, the shopkeeper, particular, I am specifying this. These shopkeepers got ruined, they got bankrupt, and all these things. My question is that these, for an example, like in the media, let's say the chaiwala, even we have a lot of stories that shopkeepers are very small entrepreneurs. They are minting money. I am using the word, sir. They are still out of your net, and particularly in the towns, not about the metros. So, is there any mechanism to get these kind of persons who are in towns, B, C, even in the villages, to take them in your tax net?
Yeah, see, this initiative to include more and more people, the right people into the tax net. There are many initiatives which are going on simultaneously. The easiest way to get at one of the potential taxpayers who is not paying the right amount of taxes is through the intrusive actions, which are taken very rarely, right? But through persuasion, through awareness building, and through deterrent actions, in few cases, we try to create that atmosphere. It's not an atmosphere of fear, but it's an atmosphere where tax compliance becomes the rule, not an exception, right? Tax compliance as part of the social responsibility of a citizen to pay the right taxes. The message is being driven home throughout the year, right? How much it is being relayed onto the field, how much it is getting registered among the potential taxpayer is a matter of question, right? But we will be at it all throughout in order to raise the revenues for the government.
Sir, one thing, property registration, that's a part of the state governments. It's a state government subject, and your direct taxes comes under the central governments. Is there any coordination, the data sharing we can say? So you can mine, data mining, that if a person having a lot of lands or the plots and purchasing things, because if somebody is investing in properties and he is not in your nets, that you can guess the things. Is there any kind of data sharing with the state governments?
Yeah. Before that, let me tell you, there is a very significant amendment which has been brought in this act, this finance bill. It is with regard to section 194 IA.
Okay.
The earlier position was that under 194 IA, the seller of a property will have to deduct 1% of the consideration by way of TDS, right? Okay. Now we have made it 1% of the consideration or the registered value, the registered value, whichever is higher, right?
Yes.
If the property value as per registration is more, the stamp duty value is more, then he has to pay 1% of the stamp duty value. It's not the consideration, right? And as to your main question as to whether we are networked with the state registering authorities, we are networked. We get all the time the data, and there is a whole set of people in the department who are engaged in getting this data from the state registering authorities, IG of stamp registration, and the deputy registers in registering authorities. We get all the data, and those have been very usefully employed in determining taxes.
Sir, leading to this one, just one question, that there are certain luxury items which even the government already have worked on these things. Do you have any mechanism to share these things, like somebody is having a luxury item but not in your nets? Like in the last time of government tried to get the data from the luxury cars, who own the luxury cars, the companies and the things, and that was quite useful to get quite a handful of data regarding the persons who are out of tax nets. So do you have such kind of mechanism?
No, is there, as you told that luxury cars in excess of 10 lakh rupees in value on which there is a TDS to be paid. So we are always exploring as to get people in the tax net, if not through the main provisions, through the TDS net. Through the TDS net, if you get the data, then that can be utilized in profiling him and to getting a handle on the kind of income he would be having in order to make this kind of investment.
So, one question was raised in the parliament, and then finance minister, Union Finance Minister replied that there was 2.15 persons in a year went for foreign visits, and so
Foreign
do you
visit?
have foreign visits?
Okay.
So do you have ever inquire or survey
2.15 crore?
1.5 crores
Yeah.
for a holiday, means visitors visa.
Correct.
That can be very much easily accessed through the MEA.
Correct.
So do you have any mechanism to work with MEA to get such kind of things?
No, see, compulsory filing of return of income in respect of people who are visiting abroad is part of the statute, right? If you spend more than 2 lakh rupees on foreign travel, right, then you have to compulsorily file a return of income, except in two situations in which you don't have to file a return. If you are going on a pilgrimage to Mansarovar or Hajj pilgrimage,
Okay.
you are exempted from in those situations.
Yeah.
But if you are traveling abroad and you are spending more than 2 lakh rupees, it's a compulsory filing of the income tax return. So that has been taken care of.
And last one, just about the cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
So the Union Finance Ministers already announced these things. There is a proposed 30% of tax on digital assets. So how you get those persons the data who is investing in this cryptocurrencies? It's not cryptocurrency. She even mentioned those things.
Exactly. So, you know, how to get the data is through the TDS, right? That is the easiest mechanism for the department, and it is very wisely used by the department to look at the coverage of a particular sector and the people who are participating in the market through the TDS route. So, under 194S, you have a TDS provision of 1% on the sell consideration, right? At the time when you make the sales, so the payment has to be made at 1% of the 1% of the transaction value,
Yes.
right? So this will give us a good idea as to the number of investors who are participating in the market and what profits they are making out of the transactions. So on crypto, we are fairly ready to take the challenge of looking at the market, looking at the investors participating in the market, looking at the working of the exchanges, and we will try and remove the non-transparency allegations against that market by entering there ourselves.
A lot of changes have proposed in section 115 and 139. What's for these?
115.
Yeah,
115.
BAB and
No, see, BAB was extended by 1 more year.
yeah.
The commissioning of the business, you know, it was given earlier at 31/3/2023. It has been increased to 31/3/2024 on 115B on the BAB.
Okay.
And on
139.
139, we have introduced a new section called 139(8) capital A,
Yeah.
in which a person who has not filed his return or who has not filed his correct return,
Yeah.
he can, within 2 years from the end of the relevant assessment year, he can come and file the return by payment of 25% additional tax and interest in the first year of default and 50% of additional tax and interest in the 13th month to 24 months. So, by payment of 25% tax for the first year of default, he can file a return and we will regularize that return.
Okay.
And for the second year, for the 24 month, he can file a return with that is updated return by paying 50% of the additional tax and interest.
With penalty or
There is no
fine or
penalty,
something?
there is additional tax.
Okay. And what's last 132? That's search and survey. The change. So,
There are no you know, noticeable changes in search and survey.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
very
much.
much to talking to Indo-Asian Youth Services.
Thank you so
very
much.
much, sir.